Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Tiffany Benson, one part of Team Benson, and today we are going to do a tour of my desert soaking wet garden. Alright guys, so we are in monsoon season. Like, it's raining, the cicadas are screaming when you walk outside and just every day, and it kind of feels like that time I went to Alabama and I just realized what real humidity was like. So I'm really excited because if you guys have been watching my channel for a while, you know that last year we did not have a monsoon. It was rough. Like rough. We've been in drought. If you guys have been watching the news or anything like that, Lake Mead, which is what gives Arizona and Las Vegas and Nevada their water, is like beyond low. So us getting rain is so important to us desert creatures that live here, and it's nice to be able to not have to worry about waking up at 5 o'clock in the morning and trying to water your garden when it's already like 105. So the temperatures have dropped down a little bit and we got a pouring rain last night. So my garden got the most rain that it has gotten so far during these couple of weeks of it raining. So we're gonna take a tour. My garden isn't as full as it normally is, and that's because we are summertime and we're getting some things started. So I'm going to show you guys what all I have going outside, and then I'm going to show you what's going on inside. Alright guys, so I have a bit of a lisp today because I bit my tongue and it's swollen this morning. So I feel like there's like a little bit of a lisp going on, but we're going to start in the farthest part of my garden, and I'm going to show you guys what all it's looking like because I'm looking at it and it looks so gorgeous right now because the rain has made everything just perk up and just get wild and beautiful. So guys, this is what I'm talking about. It just looks like a little jungle out in the desert. It's so pretty. This is like the pretty part of my garden. I'll show you the not so pretty part later on. So let's start with the one thing I am loving right now, which is my corn. My corn has now gone beyond my fence line, the tassels, and I'm starting to get little corns coming up. I was worried because I was like, are those supposed to come up first so that then when it tassels, then they can pollinate? But they're starting to come in, so I'm not getting worried anymore. I've only grown corn once, and that was like 2 years ago. And I had no clue what I was doing, but it grew, so we're happy. I do have like a little bit of a semi Three Sisters thing going on here. I have the Armenian cucumber, which if you guys are looking for a heat-loving plant, that is it, because it goes above the shade cloth line. It's never in shade, and look at these leaves, just absolutely beautiful. And then on this side, I have the butternut squash, which is growing absolutely beautiful too. Now this one it's not as heat loving as the Armenian, but it is getting protected by the corn, and it's growing with the corn. So that's helping it a lot, and it's staying quite healthy. Then down below, I have this is the red okra. It's coming in quite nice. This is my youngest ones. And then I have a cantaloupe growing right here that is just growing wild and crazy amongst the other okra that is growing wild and crazy. Look at all of these little buds. Guys, I'm getting okra off of here just about every day, sometimes twice a day, and it's just been these 3 plants. So that's been really nice. Now the other one I have going on here is the beta alpha cucumber. Still have not gotten a cucumber. You guys let me know. I thought this is supposed to be self-pollinating and great, and it's the only cucumber plant that I have that still is yet to give me a cucumber. Okay, since it's so swampy hot out here, this is gonna go from me being out there to me being over here talking to you guys because it's been like 5 minutes and I'm already sweating. It's like a swamp out here right now, guys. But yeah, okay, question. Now, I put in all of my cucumber plants at the same time. I had the salad one, and then I had one on my mini arch, and then I had my beta alpha cucumbers. Now, my salad one did the absolute best. I got probably about 20 cucumbers. Actually, no, I think it was like 15 when it was all said and done off of that one. The one on the mini arch, not so bad. It didn't do great. That one didn't like the heat that it was in. Did not appreciate that at all. So I probably only got like 2 or 3 off of that one. The beta alpha took forever to grow, and it still has not given me a single cucumber. And that's supposed to be the one that doesn't need to get pollinated. So I don't know what's going on with that one, but it's green and it's pretty and it's flowering even though it's really hot, but I don't know. So then over here we have our luffa that guys, I don't know about luffa. I know it takes forever, and everybody else said their luffa was really taking forever. Mine got a little bit of heat that it did not like earlier on, so it's drooping on one side. It was completely drooped over, and then it rained and it perked back up. So I don't know about luffa. I don't know, guys. And then I have my worm bin over here that, if you guys watched my video yesterday, I put some bananas in it, and then when I realized it was going to rain, I lifted the lid and let the rain water that in. Now in my medicinal bed, I have some catnip, and then I also have some toothache plant, and then I have this beautiful roselle hibiscus right here that is so gorgeous. And also I tried a leaf, and the leaves are very citrus tasting. Now guys, I made a video a while back for Medicinal Friday about catnip and the uses of catnip for humans, and it has gotten so many views. I get so many questions and emails about that video. And then the number one question I get is, can like humans eat and consume catnip that's made for cats? And from what I read, there's 2 different types of variety. One is for human consumption, and you really only want to drink. I live in the city and there's motorcycles, but you really only want to drink the one that says it's for humans. And then the catnip for cats is supposed to just, I think it has like a little bit more like psychedelics in it or something like that, which is what makes cats so happy when they drink it. But it's something that can bother the IG tract of humans. So you want to make sure when you get your seeds it says for humans. But apparently cats can have either or. They just like their more psychedelic one a little bit better. But that's what I've read. I only have planted the ones that say edible for humans or for human consumption, so that's the only ones I've ever experienced. And I did have one of our cats that came back here, like not the ones that we own, but like our alley cats did come back and eat a little bit of it. Liked it, but it wasn't like, oh my god, I have to like eat the whole entire plant. So if there's anybody that really knows their catnips and you guys know the complete answer to that, feel free to put it down in the comments. But also, happy 4th of July, guys. I just realized that it is 4th of July today. So let's look at my squashes, because my squashes I'm gonna need to replant soon. So I need to get those, I really do need to get those started today in the house. But we do have them looking really pretty. So the only problem with the squash is that I did not plant 2 of the same type next to each other. That needs to happen. So I haven't gotten a ton of squash. I have gotten some of there. That one is the Mexican gray squash. This one is the patty pan. The patty pan's finally starting to flower, but I'm over it. I'm gonna plant 2 of the Mexican gray squashes for the fall. And then over here too, I have my peppers. Now these are my bell peppers. This one's a banana pepper. And then the Marconian, the one that got ate down, guys. See, this is why, even if you prune yours all the way down to no leaves or something eats them, you just leave it because it is growing back. Now the other thing, I went in, don't mind all the dead flowers in the pots, but I went in and I put in the Malabar spinach. Malabar spinach takes a while to grow. So by the fall time, it'll probably start to climb, and then in the winter time it'll be even fuller. But go ahead and put in your Malabar spinach now. So that one's there, and then I also have one over here, and this one is smaller. Now finally too, we have the Chinese red lung noodle beans, which are doing their own thing. They're finally starting to fill in a little bit and grow a little bit taller. And then we have the shishito pepper that got ate down a lot. I do need to come in and top this so that then this will bush down, but it is growing back a lot. So the insects did do a great job at pruning that because it's growing back a lot. And then I have my beautiful basil that I just like to come and play with because it smells good. And then my marigolds. Guys, it is swampy outside. It just feels like it feels like something's licking my face. Like, it's so swampy. But I'm gonna stop complaining because you know what, last year we didn't get a monsoon and it was terrible. So I'm just gonna be appreciative and just dab all the sweat. But so on my little patio arch, I am getting ready to pull out my midget cantaloupe because I've gotten the midget cantaloupe, it's all done, and I want to redo that setup. A lot of people have asked me about that. I do have a video on it, but I'm gonna put bigger pots and I'm gonna put a in-ground in the middle. So that's gonna be a project for the next couple of weeks to get that redone. So this is gonna be this summer's garden. I'm gonna go ahead and redo this patio arch and use bigger pots, so then that way I can be able to grow things and they not get stunted because there's too much stuff going on in it. So I'm gonna get some bigger pots from Home Depot, put those in there, and then I want to put an in-ground right here in the middle. So kind of like how I have over there for the medicinal bed, I want to put that right here because I want to try and grow a ton of green beans and then some cabbages here. Now moving along over here. Now the wind, guys, the wind did all of this to my poor little shishito pepper. This poor plant got thrown around and the leaves were just like falling off of it because the wind was so strong. But it's still doing good. It's trying to fruit again, which I kind of don't want it to. I kind of want it just to go dormant for a little bit. I think I'll let this one have another cycle and then I'm going to cut it back because it does need to go dormant because the leaves are too weak on here. And as you can see, the new little leaves are trying to come in. The bugs didn't eat this one, so I might have to go ahead and prune it. My eggplant is doing really well. It is starting to grow all of its new leaves and bush back out. I need to come in and prune this one, and this one it shouldn't be going dormant, but it might. So this one has one new flower on it, so we'll kind of see how that one goes. Over here, this basil, guys, oh, so happy I didn't pull this basil because the rain just made it beautiful. Now it smells amazing, the leaves are tender and nice, the sun is making it really bush out, and it's doing really good. The peppers too, my jalapenos are starting to grow back. I forgot to prune that one, like the dead stems off of it, so I'm probably going to prune that one back all the way and then let that one grow back. But this one is doing really good and this one's doing really good. And then this shishito, I need to come in and prune. Bugs didn't prune this one either, but as you can see, when you're looking at your shishito plants, this is what you want to prune off, are like these old leaves like this, because it gives room for all the new leaves to come in. So when I say let the bugs prune your peppers, it'll save you some time in the heat. That's what I mean, because they did it to this one, and as you can see, all the new leaves are coming in, and the old leaves, this one has a couple more old leaves that could come off, but they pretty much got them all. I've been meaning to come out and prune these peppers, and then I was just like, I can't. It is hot to come out and prune little leaves one by one off of those peppers. But then the insects were like, we got you, boo. I think it was the roly-polies. I'm glad I didn't kill them all, you know? I'm glad I didn't, because sometimes you need some organic help, and they did it, and now it's growing back nicely. And then I have a little rosemary growing in here. The rosemary is doing really well. It's loving the heat. It has survived with all the other ones have died. And yeah, but the rosemary is a heat-loving plant. Another one that loves heat, so if you live in Arizona, learn to cook with rosemary. So still nothing has grown up in the bed. That was the store-bought cantaloupe that I put in there. Not sure if it'll even grow. It was a really tasty cantaloupe, and I was gonna rest the bed, but we'll see what happens. Now I did plant one of the okras here. That one's doing well. These are all dead except for a little bit of chocolate mint growing back. This just basically, I'm keeping this for the basil that's growing in, and then this okra is dying. But over here I have the this one is my culinary herb bed. Now everything that's dying I'm going to take completely out. I know that like things like the chives will grow back, and the thyme and the parsley and all that will grow back, but I want to kind of give this bed more soil because it is so low, guys. Like, look at that. That is like half the amount of soil that needs to go in here. So I know I don't want to get rid of my rosemary or anything like that, so I'm not going to bury those, but everywhere else I'm going to put as much soil as I can, and then whatever is alive will just get soil around it. But we have the rosemary, we have sweet marjoram still rocking, we have the purple basil that's trying to come back, more different rosemaries, and the sage. Everything else pretty much dead. But seriously, if you are an Arizonan or a desert person, you better learn to cook with rosemary and learn to love basil, because those will be the two herbs that you get a ton of during the summer, because they grow during the summer just fine. Now the other herbs, I grow them all year long when it's not 1,000,000 degrees, and I dry those. So I was hoping that those rosemaries would get a lot taller, so then I could trim below them and then fill the bed, but they're staying low and bushing out, probably because we keep using it. So it's bushed out low versus getting a little bit of a stem on it. But it's okay. We'll just go ahead and fill around it and put soil everywhere else, and then we'll just let the rosemary continue doing its thing. But let's look at the trees. Those are my last things that I have going on back here. So the lime tree is a little crispy on this side, but it's okay because new leaves are coming in. It's building really good in the middle and on that side, but it's been happy for the rain. And guys, the mulberry tree, I figured out the issue. Alright guys, so we are going to head inside and I'm going to show you what I have going on in my little growing space. So we have a couple things and I need to get a couple more things started. This is why I like these like little greenhouses like this. You guys see all that condensation? I have not had to water this since I put it together. Actually, I haven't even opened this lid since I put it together. So it's one of those things that if you guys are busy, you don't have a lot of time, and you don't want to have to worry about it, you just put it, fill up the little pods, put the seeds in there, put the lid on there, put it underneath the grow light, and come back to it a couple weeks later and see what grew. So we're gonna open it up and not get water all over the place. And let's see what we've got here. So yes, guys, look at that. Things are germinating so nicely. So tip though with it is that once the plants start to get their leaves, you don't want to leave the lid on there. You do want to take that lid off because you don't want the leaves to be sitting with the water touching them. So let's see what we have going on here, guys. So up here I have some okra. This is going to be the okra to add to the pots, and then I need to have a replacement okra too as well. This one has two, but I don't think I'll be able to pull that one or separate them. I'm not sure. If you guys know if you can separate okra, let me know. And then I have midget cantaloupe. Yay, round 2 of midget cantaloupe, and look at these roots already on it. I'm probably going to go ahead and put out this midget cantaloupe. I might wait until these like little leaves come in, but I'm going to go ahead and stick that in its pot because its pot's already ready. The worms have been composting all of those it's going where the 100 sweets were, and all of those tomato leaves or tomato roots are all composted. I can tell because 1, I dug in there a little bit, and 2, the basil is doing really well. So I'm probably gonna go ahead and put those out within like the next like day or 2. My herbs are coming in. I'm so excited. I have my thyme which this is going to be what's going to fill in a lot of the pots. And then also I'm going to put 2 of these because I have 4 altogether. I'm going to put 2 of them in my culinary bed and then 2 in pots. So this one is just some regular thyme, and then I'm going to get lemon thyme too as well and put lemon thyme in there. I have the amaranth. This one was the spinach. Now this is a lot of spinach in one. Usually you only want to grow 1 seed at a time. So I'm gonna have to really thin that. I didn't realize. I thought I only planted 1 seed, but I don't know. Maybe the 1 seed expanded, like how when you do like cilantro, how that 1 seed actually equals like 20 plants. So I have 2 of those. I'm gonna go ahead and I'm gonna let these grow out a little bit before I plant those because I want them to be a good fighting weight. And then I have some more basil. Look at that. That was a random seed that must have gotten down on the bottom. But I have some more basil. That one's coming in nicely. And I have 4 of these all together. This is the lettuce leaf basil. The only thing that hasn't germinated yet is the cilantro, and that's because cilantro takes forever to germinate. So if you guys cilantro hasn't popped up, don't stress out about it. Just let it keep going. I'm going to refill this with some more pods and keep going with getting my stuff going. Now is the time, guys, that you want to have something constantly going underneath your grow lights, because you're constantly going to be filling in your garden until you get to the end of the fall. And then the end of the fall, you're going to let it grow all out. You're going to maybe put in just 1 row of stuff or 1 tray of stuff underneath the grow lights. So then you can just fill as things kind of die off. But yeah, now's the time to always have something growing underneath your grow lights. If anything, always have herbs growing underneath your grow lights because they take a while to get to the point to where you can start pruning from them. So that's all I have going, guys. That's my garden tour, and I hope you guys found it interesting and entertaining. But until next time, grow yourselves a garden, because even a small space can provide you with tons of food. Bye, guys.